Yeah, good to go. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right. This is the Fight Business Podcast, episode number 2. Today we've got one of my long-term friends, sparring partners, work boss, loads of stuff. Simon Forrest with us today.
Dad.
Just one thing a Muay Thai fighter can't do, and it's quit on the stool, man.
There wasn't one bit of me that wanted to get up off that stool or thought I could.
I didn't know if you were going to get out for the 5th round. I didn't think you were going to get off the stool at one point. And then that 37, really, it's against the odds, isn't it? Not many 37-year-olds can do that. But
you don't ever achieve anything unless you step out your comfort zone.
I wish and I hope that one day Muay Thai could sell out in Wembley. I mean, that fight will go off. That's going to end in a knockout. Not really going to go to points, is it?
It's a hard sport, and a lot of these people at the highest level are just full-time fighters, but obviously that doesn't always pay the bills.
Yeah. I had to ask myself a few tough questions. All I've ever done since 10 years old now, I've been fighting I think 17 years, thinking, is my time up? You question yourself, you question your mentality, you question everything, especially when you lose.
Yeah.
I know the level I want to be at, and I know the level I can be at. When I fall short, it's embarrassing. And I thought, you know what kind of role model would I be to the kids that I teach now? It's my time to get back on that stage again. And then I thought, you know what, I can't fucking give up on that. I know there's some big nights still left in me. I'm there to be the best in the world. But yeah, we've got Simon Forrest with us today. Well-renowned fighter in the UK, European champion, UK number 2, or was? Or
I have been.
You have been, yeah?
I think I'm number 6 right now.
But yeah, so we're just going to go through some kind of recent events. We're going to talk about Simon's last fight, my last fight, coming off of losses, motivation, why we do it. And we're also going to talk about recent events such as the One Championship fights and upsets and all that stuff. So hope everyone enjoys. So we're going to start. We'll just talk about coming off of our last fight. So me and Simon have had both had a few stinkers, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I've had loads of stinkers. I wouldn't say my last fight was a stinker though. It was probably one of my best performances, but obviously I fell up short and got cut a lot.
Yeah, so Simon fought against George Carter for the WBC European title, and going into the fight, we knew that George was tough, very durable fighter, liked to low kick a lot. That doesn't do anything really powerfully, so it's not like one shot knockout power or even one kick power, but just constant over 5 rounds. And Simon come back to the corner every round with I think a new cut on his face every round. But yeah, it was a good fight, to be fair. A really good fight. Probably could say up there with one of the fights of the year.
I think I've had 34 fights, and I can honestly say, apart from obviously fights that I've been deleted or something, and it was my hardest fight I've ever had, hands down.
Yeah.
When I wasn't going to take the fight on at first, because when I got offered it by Steve Broom, I was like, I had so much work on. I just thought, I can't commit to a fight of that magnitude, because I knew how tough it was. I've actually fought him before, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So I just knew it was going to be horrendous, and I had to be in the best shape of my life, fit. And then I declined it at first, and then a couple of weeks later, Henry phoned me up and sort of put it on me and offered me it again. I slept on it, and I thought, fuck it, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you didn't want to do it at the start. You were like, I just can't really commit to it. Then you started doing a bit of training, and then you've done it. But it was a tough fight. I mean, I knew it was a tough fight for you, because when he come back to the corner, he I think it was round 2. Come back after round 2, and he's like, my legs are gone. I was like, I don't care if your legs are gone. So I want you. Well, basically, we had a conversation before going into the fight, and when Simon was in mid flow of the fight camp and stuff, he was saying that he's prepared to he literally will give everything, prepared to die basically in there. So I said, show me that you want to do that. And to be fair, he actually did. To be fair, he carried on, and because his face was a mess. Your face was proper bad, and your legs were gone.
It was what happened was that, so round 1 and 2, I was sort of scoring the better or the better techniques. I looked the nicer fighter in round 1 and 2. We always knew it was going to be a bit like that, But it's weird. Like George, he doesn't like watching him, and he doesn't look amazing when he fights, but it works. Like, so he was taking big knees and big kicks and that just to land little low kicks. And I think I counted, like watching it back, I counted about 17 unblocked low kicks where I was like kneeing. He would take a knee. He's hard. He's a hard fucker. And then he just tap knee, both my legs, bomb. I come back after round 2. I was like, my legs are fucked. I've felt pain in fights before, but both legs, not just one leg, both legs were fucked.
I remember saying to you,
I can't kick anymore. So I was thinking, going into round 3, I felt I couldn't drive off the floor to kick and to punch with any power. So I just went to what Tim Thomas said was
just throw an elbow from the red corner to the blue corner.
I'm just gonna have to elbow because I can't go this fight. I can't kick anymore. I still did kick, but my legs were fucked.
Yeah,
man.
I think after you had a really good round 1 and 2, and then like your kicks were firing. I was like, wow, I've never seen you fight like that. Like you were throwing the kicks really well, and then I think round 3, I think you were still throwing well, but then I think it was like I remember really noticing in round 4 and 5 where like you were throwing kicks still, but they just didn't have anything in them anymore. It's a tough fight, and even like there's a lot to take on that fight because like the amount of heart had to be shown in the fight. Well, even though you come up short, like the heart you had to show to come out, especially going into round 5. I remember that I didn't think you were going to get off the stool at one point.
Well, to be honest, there was not what when I come back after round 4. My legs were so fucked. I was cut. I didn't know how. I thought I was just cut. I knew I was cut badly because there was blood everywhere. And obviously Scott stopped and wiped it off, and I could tell I was cut. But Parn and Patet they were saying I was winning. I think you were saying I was winning.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was winning because my legs were fucked, my face was fucked, and it was honestly there wasn't one bit of me that wanted to get up off that stool or thought I could.
Yeah.
And I remember coming back after round 4 and just being like. Fucked. And obviously my gas tank is one of my main assets, but obviously so is George Carter's. But I was just it wasn't fitness that I was fucked, but my legs were in so much pain they were dead.
Yeah.
My face, had to dig deep. And I remember you saying to me, "You told me you're prepared to die here," blah blah blah, and having a go at me. And then Kingsley, my son, my 9-year-old, he's leaning his head through the ropes. He's in the corner as well, and he's going, "Dad, you said you're gonna win this WBC title, blah blah blah. You need to do it." And I just remember, just instantly, just switching my mindset with about 30 seconds left of the break to go. I just got up, walked straight to the centre of the ring, and then just went out round 5 and just give it everything I could. And
it was a good, that was a close round to be fair as well. That round 5, but it does show though because. I mean, I've been in that position with the low kicks with Paolo, so I know exactly it's horrible when someone just takes a kick to low kick, low kick, and both legs. But like the mind, you have to, because I remember you getting up off the stool, and I looked at you and I thought, I don't know if he wants even. I didn't know if you were going to get out for the 5th round.
You said to me, didn't you? Oh, I was thinking, please don't quit, because I said to you in the corner, my legs are fucked.
Yeah, I was thinking, there's one thing. Just one thing a Muay Thai fighter can't do, and it's quit on the stool, man. It just can't happen, can
Mate,
it? So,
I'll never quit. I might get chinned from time to time, but there's one thing: my heart can never be like it'll be my heart. You can never.
Yeah. And the mind was powerful because, like you said, you got out 30 seconds to go of the break. You didn't even have the full break, and you went into the middle of the ring, stood in the middle, and showed that you were still ready to go. So now it was it was emotional. It was an emotional fight. Like even as a cornerman, like that's probably the most emotional I've been in a fight.
Yeah.
Like where like it just felt like I was fighting as well. It was mad.
I think Patet and Parn, they were convinced I won. You weren't sure. It was that close. I think Steve Broom said it was a split decision, but I didn't feel because I was so hurt. I didn't feel like it was so hard. So hard. Like I think I couldn't walk for about a week after my legs. After about 10 days, they come out. Both legs were completely black. And I remember coming back to the change room, getting carried back to the changing rooms, and just going, oh, fucking, how many cuts have I got then? And you were like, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And I was like,
kept counting. There was more and more. Like
just appearing.
I was like, Jesus, man. And your eyebrows are hanging off.
My face was pretty much hanging off. Yeah. My legs were fucked. It was just horrendous. And I didn't know I'd been cut that many times. Like I went elbow mad because I felt I'd lost my power. He took my legs away, so I felt like I had no power in my shots. So I thought I've just got to cut him. Ended up coming off a lot worse. I think I might have cut him once, but I was proper opened up when I did my forehead, my eyebrow, both eyebrows.
I'd say one thing that probably would be like motivating to other people is, how old are you? 37.
37. Yeah.
So like, a lot of people think that it's done and dusted at around that age, but how old's George? Do you know?
I think George is 30.
30, so he's
or 28, maybe 28, 29, 30. So I thought, mate, he's got to be close to 30.
Yeah.
But Lee Chester's even said to me, he goes, we thought we're going to take it to you because you're old. We thought you'd tire, and you don't tire. I'll never tire in a fight.
You showed a lot of, like, I mean, again, it's mindset, training, like dedicating yourself to it, traveling to spar or everything you do, and it shows, because at 37, really, it's against the odds, innit? You shouldn't really. Not many 37-year-olds can do that, but
at that level with
at
these
that level
youngsters.
and that intensity. So it was an intense fight. So yeah, hats off to both used to be. That was a mad fight.
Yeah, it was definitely my hardest.
So I suppose I better address my stinker, my last stinker. So my fight against Darren Rowland on a Hitman Fight League. Same thing. Like I mean, at some points it turned into a bit of a war and stuff. It went a bit mad, but my thing was, I felt flat from, I don't know why, to be fair. I just had one of them days where, like, I just felt, I don't know, I watched a little bit of it back and I actually didn't look that as bad as what I felt like I did. Do you know what I mean? But like little things like my footwork was a little bit off, and just firing my kicks I just didn't have that kind of fire in my kicks as much as what sometimes I do. I don't know why, to be fair. I don't know if it's like coming off of, let's say, like 3 years break, obviously, with the injury, and then trying to get back to that level that I once was. And it's like, I'm comparing myself to a 21-year-old, 22-year-old that was fighting every other month and stuff. I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? I think you're a bit hard on yourself. Like, he's obviously an elite level fighter. You were fighting good. Do you know what I mean? You got caught. Sometimes you're a hammer, sometimes you're a nail, as they say, don't they? Do you know what I mean? But
that's the thing. Like, I kind of look into it and I'm like, maybe my footwork was off and this and that, and it was obviously, like, there was definitely like things that I'd done wrong, but was it just the fact I got caught with a good shot? Because then when I did watch it back, I was like, I hurt him with a lot of good shots, and like even when we were in the doctor's room after getting a little checkup and after, like if you'd come in and sat next to us both, you'd think he was the one that would lost the fight. His
leg was done, mate.
Yeah,
it was close. This is the thing with you, isn't it? Like, going back, like, I know what I've learned from watching you over the years. Like, sometimes when your back's against the wall is sometimes when you're the best, and then you fire. One of them elbows could have caught him. It could have been a different story on another night. Do you know what I mean? A few more low kicks and you might have stopped him. Like,
that was the weird thing.
I think
that's why I was so gutted, because, and I think this is why I questioned myself after the fight, because in the fight, until the doctors, I didn't realise I was hurting him so bad with low kicks, which a few years ago I felt like I was really good at seeing when my opponent was hurt and stuff. Like, and I didn't really notice that in the fight, and then when he come back to the doctors, and his leg he couldn't even barely walk. I was like,
that's the experience as well, isn't it? It's the poker face, isn't it? It's like, when you're in there, you don't want to be showing that you're hurt. No. So he's obviously a very experienced. So he's not going to.
This is it.
Like you when you fought Paolo, your legs are fucked. Same with me and George, but you don't show it, do you?
I think that's another thing, is like, with coming back to these fights, I thought Mario, who was on, I think, like 9 or 10 fights in a row, he won. Then I obviously had that fight against Sandro. I won that one. And then coming back to fight Darren Rowland again, I think that was his 10th or 11th win in a row. And he's fighting, like, quite regular. And, like, that's how I was a few years ago. Before the hand injury, I was fighting regular. I was fighting top level all the time. I was fighting, like, I think I fought Ryan. Then I fought 8 weeks later, I fought Rungnarai. Then I fought 8 weeks after, I fought Tanadet.
Yeah.
And then, like, obviously had the hand injury and stuff. And then went again after that. And again, I was fighting every other month. And then I remember the hunger. Like, that's what I was kind of questioning after the fight. Like, it took me a good week, like, to reflect on things. And I spoke to you quite a lot after the fight on the phone and stuff. And I was like, do I want this as much as what I once did? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got you know what I think it is as well? Like, I've got so many good things going for me now, like, which I didn't have before. All I did was fight. So, like, my goal was just fighting. And that's what Darren Rowland's goal. All he does is fight.
That's the thing. These young, hungry fighters, that's why it's like me, even like fighting, for example, like Zach last year, these young 22-year-olds that maybe don't work or train all the time, and you're trying to juggle other things now. Like, now you've got you're setting up your business, you're working, you're earning money, you're doing PTs and Whereas before you were just living the dream, you were just a fighter living in Thailand,
training twice a day.
It's a hard sport, and a lot of these people at the highest level are just full-time fighters, but obviously that doesn't always pay the bills, does it?
It's a hard one. I had to ask myself it's been 2 weeks. So the day we're filming is about 2 weeks ago now, isn't it? And I've had to ask myself a few tough questions. Like, all I've ever done since 10 years old now, I've been fighting I think 17 years, and I'm thinking, is my time up? Like, I know it's crazy. People probably think I'm crazy thinking that, but I know the level I want to be at, and I know the level I can be at. I kind of ask myself these questions after, do these boys want it more than me? Like, are they just young and hungry? But kind of had a week to reflect on it, and I thought, you know what, I can't fucking give up on that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
losses always do that to you.
That's
everyone questions themselves. It's only human nature. It's natural.
That's it. And I think it's because, I think it's because I think it's the way I lost to Mario was very similar to how I lost to Darren. And I started questioning myself, and I was like, you know what, I know there's some big nights still left in me, and I knew it was just a feeling I was having from losing, and we could talk, that's the one thing to talk about. It's and this will probably resonate with a lot of fighters. You can say to people, I said to you after the fight, I was like, that was embarrassing. When I
embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
I was so embarrassed, humiliated. How did I fight like that? And I know that all fighters feel like that, and everyone will go, no, you don't. You should never be embarrassed. You step through the ropes. No.
No.
I'm there to win, and I'm there to be the best in the world. And when I fall short, it's embarrassing, and that's just how I felt. But
it's shit.
It's a horrible feeling.
I mean, I know I've lost just as many fights as I've won. You know what I mean? 17 wins, 17 losses. But obviously, I'm nothing on a comparison to you in any way, shape, or form. But I didn't have my first fight till I was 26. How old are you now?
I'm 27 now.
And you've been, there's many more years left in you, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, it's just it's what it is. You have the lowest of the lows, and you wouldn't the good times wouldn't be good if you didn't have the shit times.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
No, that's it. It's a bumpy road, isn't it? But
it's a hard sport, mate.
It's hard.
It's unforgiving.
It does get you question yourself. You question your mentality. You question everything especially when you lose.
Yeah.
So and without even bragging, I'm not used to losing that much. Yeah. So I think that was my 47th pro fight. It was my 7th loss. So I've lost a few, but I feel because I can remember the Mario one, that really hurt. And then I come back and had a win. I was like, all right, it's my time to get back on that stage again. And then another loss, and it's just oh man, but you feel quite alone in them times. But as well, that's I think what people, when you lose, you feel proper alone. No matter, I had so many good people around me, to be fair, in the change rooms. It was all good spirits. I had my dad, you, Mac, Lewis, Georgia was there. I had so many good people around. Mac, you were there as well, mate. And you still feel alone in it. It's horrible. I didn't want to face anyone. I was supposed to get the train home with all my mates, and I was like, nah, not today. Not tonight. I'll wait. But yeah, but the one thing, when I was kind of questioning myself, should I just focus on coaching now, because I've got such a good thing going. I've got a good team of lads here now. They're all young, up and coming, hungry. And I thought, you know what kind of role model would I be to the kids that I teach now? Just giving up after losing at that level. That's like you said, it's one of the highest levels. I've jumped in, I went for it. At times it was quite close and could have went either way. Dare
to be great. Do you know what I mean? You're not afraid to fail, and that's what a lot of that thought holds people back, doesn't it? Being afraid to fail, and
that's it.
You don't ever achieve anything unless you step out your comfort zone. And I say your comfort zone. You're comfortable in that. That's what you do. It's what we do, innit?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in the ring,
Yeah, but so it's not, you still put yourself in a position where it is uncomfortable.
You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know the outcome, do you?
That's it.
But I remember sort of switching a little bit. But Tony Myers always says to me, I used to speak, I need to win. I think and he always said to me, don't worry about the result. Obviously you want the result, especially when it's for a title and going on to the next fight, but a lot of the time it's performance. He always drilled it in my head, it's performance that matters.
Yeah.
So you can win fights, but if you fought shit, you're pissed off for yourself. But the last 3 fights I've had, I've actually lost the last 3 fights I've had, but they've been some of my best performances.
Yeah.
So I've got to take that away from them, you know?
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
yeah, your last 3
performance-
have been by far your best, I'd say.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
And that just shows how crazy the sport is, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you can be the best you've ever been, but that guy on the night might have been the best he's ever been. So
Yeah.
that's who you're up against, and that's why it's such an exciting sport, I suppose, as well. But yeah, like another thing, moving on from losses and stuff, is I was going to touch on this as well when we talked about the one championship fights.
Yeah.
Obviously, Haggerty moving up to bantamweight and stuff like that. But I think my thing in the fight was, I mean, the day before, I dieted with, I had a nutrition plan with Pete Miller, Condition Nutrition, and dieted down to a T. So I'd done everything perfectly, but my body's just changing, and I think getting down to 57 kilo, like I can do it, I can make the weight, but I'm just dead at the weight now. Like, and I think both times I've made 57 now was Mario and Darren. Just felt a bit flat in the ring. Like my body didn't feel as strong. I mean, we went to JID a few weeks before that, before the fight, and out with Alfie Pierce, and he was kneeing me probably harder than what Darren was kneeing me. And I was taking them knees, and it wasn't like I weren't ever winded in training or anything. But Darren, as soon as he kneed me, I was like, my body was just gone. And I think maybe it's the weight issue. Maybe cutting down so much weight, you get hit to the boy, it's a bit weaker. I don't know, but
that is going back to Haggerty. Look how strong he looked at. People said, "Oh, can he move up at the weight?" And look how strong he looked at the weight. Do you know what I mean?
So like, I had my kind of week off, like week after the fight, and I was kind of reflecting on everything that happened, and like obviously the questioning myself and all of that stuff. And the one thing was, I can't keep doing that weight cut. Like the weight cut was just killing me. Like I cut quite a lot of water for this one, unintentionally, just kind of how it happened. And then I watched him, and I was like, why am I killing myself? Like Haggy's not even, I mean, we've been matched or talked about fighting, and like he's not much bigger as in height wise to me and stuff, and he carries the weight so well. And I think sometimes it's scary, the thought of going up, because you're thinking you've got to fight bigger people, they're a bit more powerful. But like, I think moving forward,
tall, lanky people.
I think moving forward though, I think moving up a little bit of weight for me would probably be the best.
Well, look at Bendon. I mean, he fights 66, doesn't he? He's probably shorter than you.
Same as Harrison. Liam's the same.
Yeah, Liam. Liam's always been against bigger people, isn't he?
They're just bigger built. But like, yeah, it's kind of like watching Haggerty kind of do what he done the other day, and we're going to touch on that in a bit as well. Kind of motivated me to go, you know what? This 57 kilo is done. Like I'm done with that now. Have to go up. And I think my shots, I'm feeling strong now. So I feel like I've got power in my shots. The most amount of power I've probably ever had. But I need the extra push.
I felt them.
And that will probably move on quite nicely actually. So so that leads us on to sparring. So how me and Simon have been sparring probably good part of 10 years now.
Banned.
We're banned. We're definitely
we
banned.
can't spar together anymore, can we?
Nah, I think, you know what it is? I mean, Simon always spars like an idiot, yeah. Like, he always spars hard. But like, I used to think it was just me, but then I'd travel around the country and I've, like when I worked with him and stuff, and he just does it with everyone. Like, it doesn't matter if you're Liam Harrison, Dan Mcgowan, Haggerty, Damien Alamos, anyone. It's to say, to be fair, you do keep the same energy with every partner. So it's not like he's just trying to bully people. It's just how he spar. But we've been doing it like 10 years. And because we're so close, it's like a brother relationship. It's like, he annoys me so much. I'm not going to lie.
What was it, the last time I sparred? I can't spar technical with you, because if I try and be technical, I just get absolutely mugged off. So I have to draw you into a war, so I've got half a chance. That's basically it. But I teeped you. We were at Minotaurs, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I teeped you, and I never land teeps on you. I don't even throw teeps really, only to the leg. And I was like, teep. You just wound you up, didn't it?
No, he kept doing it though. He was like, it weren't just a teep. It was a like running around the ring and dancing teep. And I was like, he started. But he just knows. It's weird because other people do that. Like Ty's do it, but like when Simon does it to me, he knows how to grind my gears. I don't know what it is. We've worked together. We've grown up like I said, like last 10 years together. So he just knows how to push my buttons, I think. And then I just lost it. I just went mental.
Fucking mental. Elbow me without elbow pads or nothing.
Yeah.
Full elbow.
To be fair, that was more of an accident.
And then
the first one was anyway.
You apologised. So I just like, I just uppercutted you, and then you just went in again, I think.
So because it started going off, I threw an elbow, and I meant to put the first one. I actually meant to pull, and he kind of, as he was coming forward, he kind of hit it. It weren't too bad the first one, and then the second one was terrible. So I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, so I went to touch gloves, hug him, and whatever. I was so sorry, and he uppercutted me, and I just naturally elbowed him straight in the face again. I was like, shit. and then after that, it just kind of went off, and then, to be fair, this one, like, I've been working on my left hook a lot at this point as well, and I landed a sweet one. And then I just thought after it, like, Richie Green was watching. He was like, "You lot are nuts, man!" Like, even Lewis was like holding his eyes and that, because like, and then after that we had a chat, didn't we? And I was like, I don't think we should spar anymore.
To
like,
be honest, I think I should probably, if I want to continue, I should probably just lay off sparring. I've been sparring like that week in, week out. Couple of times a week in, week out for well over 10, 12 years. And like I have actually noticed, like, do you know what I mean? I'm known for my speech on the John O'Chip Chase interview anyway, but even struggling to get my words out sometimes. It can't be good for longevity. I need to probably knock sparring on the head, or at least sparring like a dickhead.
Yeah, like, so.
But I don't know, I just love it too much.
You do love it. But
I just love a war.
You need to change your mindset when it comes to sparring. I'd say, like, I know you say, like, when you go with me, like, if I go technical, I'm not going to win. But then you can be technical, to be fair.
Yeah,
like,
I think
you just need to stick to it.
I've just got such an addictive personality. I think fighting's the best buzz in the world. I love it, and I love sport. I love having it off. Do you know what I mean? Saturday morning, like, just whack 7 a.m. just having a tear up and you're buzzing. Do you know what I mean? Just come away. I just love it too much. But I need to.
You can't keep that up.
I can't. My brain can't.
I think, to be honest, I think that's why. So, like, in boxing, there's a lot more head trauma injuries in there, because one, they're mainly focusing on the head, but two, have you seen how they spar? Like, it's basically worse than the fight.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. So, like, I think, like, if you want longevity, I think there's you can be sharp in sparring, and the shots can be sharp and stuff. But I think going to war every sparring session can't be it's definitely not good. It's definitely not good. And, like, but yeah, we've had some mad ones. But like you said, you've travelled around the country. Like, why do you travel around the country so much and go to different gyms? Like, obviously your life's a bit different to mine.
Like, so there's two reasons really. Obviously, with the roofing business, I work all over. I'm so strapped for time to get training in to be a professional fighter competing at a high level, or high level in the UK anyway. I can't. So my work's all over the place. I'll be in Newcastle one week, and then London, Liverpool. So I kind of got to get the training in when I can, because I just don't have that much time. So obviously, if I'm near a good gym, then I'll go and spar. But I do travel. Like, I love sparring. Yeah. So I've obviously, I've sparred. If I've either fought most of the top people my way, I've sparred all the top fighters in the country, most of them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I just love it.
Like, your mindset with that's different as well, because I like sparring, but you like sparring more than me. I think I like pad work and technical stuff and clinching. I like sparring as well, but also traveling to spar. I've travelled to a couple of gyms, like went to JID and stuff. And I mean, over the years we've been again, when I worked with you, we obviously done a little bit more. Went to a few different gyms and stuff. But
I mean, I used to travel to, obviously, to Wolverhampton twice a week, spar and Dean and that, and then but Bad Company with Liam and that. I used to go up there loads, do loads of rounds. Do you know what I mean?
I think with me, like, you're pretty competitive. You are competitive, but like in my head, I'm like, all right, if I go to this gym and what if I end up fighting one of these lads? And I know it doesn't matter too much, but in my head, I'm like, I don't really care about sparring. If I'm gonna fight him, I'll just fight him. Whereas you are happy to go and spar someone that you actually want to fight as well.
Yeah,
or
I don't know. I think I just love it. I just love it.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that deep.
I just love it. Like, who's it? I sparred Natty Dodds the other week. Fucking hell.
Did you?
He goes in like I do, but like he's
sharp.
Fucking, he's good, man.
He's good.
He's good, man. But I don't know. I just love it. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's, as much I can do it. It does. It's definitely benefited me. It's made me better. It gives me more experience. Do you know what I mean? So
I think like with sparring, for younger up and coming fighters that haven't had as much experience, having them hard rounds, like you and Tim were talking about this today actually.
Yeah.
They need that because they need to feel how it is to be in them deep waters, and they need to be tested to see if they actually have got it. Do you know what I mean? Have you got what it takes?
And I suppose I'm sort of a firm believer of you will kind of fight how you are in the gym. So if you give up in the gym, then you're going to give up in the fight. I sort of fight like a spar. So it's just it's just so normal to me when I'm actually in a fight.
It's not just a big shot.
In the subconscious mind. It's not like, oh shit, I'm in a fight. I'll just do what I do every single day. I kind of do that a little bit, you know. But I'm only like that against people. I'm normally looking to spar with people that are better than me or on the same level. Like I don't just go around whacking up like beginners. Do you know what I mean? I'm there. I'm travelling to get beaten up by Liam
Daniel
Harrison. That was ridiculous. Well, just fuck yeah.
Like I think Simon is nuts anyway. To be fair, but he's travelled around. You've sparred everyone. Thinking about it, you've actually sparred so many people.
So many. Yeah.
I've just never been that kind of way inclined. Like I like having my own kind of team, and I've got like affiliates, obviously gyms or whatever that we kind of get close and we do stuff. But I've just never been one to travel around and stuff like that.
You say that like your own team. Obviously, you're my team. You're my main person who's had the main input. But obviously, for the sort of since I like left Scott and kind of obviously I've been under you. You've been training me more than anyone, but I've kind of been winging it a bit myself. So I've kind of had to go just where I can,
and then I've been and Singapore, Thailand,
and work as well. So thingy for me. Do you know what I mean? So I've kind of had to just sort of do what I can. And do you know what I mean? So that's part of it as well, I think. Yeah, but I don't go to other gyms and learn or do pad work with it. I just go to sparring and it. So
fair play. Alright, so one championship. There's been obviously a massive upset. To be fair, I mean, I don't think anyone expected what happened with Nongo versus Haggerty.
Mate, that was mental, wasn't it? It's probably, as far as I've known Muay Thai, that has got to be the biggest win of all time.
Yeah, it's up there. It has to be.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it has to be. Like for a foreigner to do that, and then not obviously people have beaten Thais and stuff, but the run Nongo was on. That's what's so good about it.
Yeah, and Nongo's like the most. Until this, the most feared man. Really.
And he didn't. He looked like. I know nobody's ever unbeatable, and that just went to show. But you kind of felt that with Nongo at points. You're like, how is anyone going to beat him? Like, he didn't look like he ever got hurt much. He looked so confident. His kicks, he was knocking people out. He could win a fight anyway.
And the way he got just deleted in round one, didn't he? Like it was just.
I don't know what. I mean, again, with them 4-ounce gloves, like there's no margin for error anyway. Haggerty comes out really quick. I don't know if did Nongo respect his power?
I think watching it, I think like Nongo was coming out. He
come out strong, didn't he? But
like,
saying that, he does come out a bit stronger nowadays anyway, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, like, because I think I seen Liam speaking to Chatri about that. Like, he don't know if, like, Nongo kind of didn't give him any respect. And I don't know, maybe there was a little bit because Haggerty's moved up to weight. And, like, the one thing I seen him saying before the fight was, we've got to show him like, coming up to bantamweight that, like, this is the real power fight, or whatever he said. But the one thing I was shocked about in the fight was, and again we touched on that earlier with Haggerty's weight, he looked good for the weight, and he actually looked, when he got in the middle of the ring, he looked massive compared to Nongo, and I was like, how have you moved up to 65 looking still, he looked really good, and I thought he actually looked so much better at that weight than he did at the weight below. I thought it was going to be a problem for him moving and fighting Nongo. I thought power wise, he's never going to deal with that power moving from 61 to 65 against Nongo, because I thought against the Russian lad he fought before that, I think the Russian lad had the power edge in that fight. So I was thinking, well, Nongo's going to be a lot more powerful. But yeah, great win. And to be fair, yeah, probably up there with one of the biggest wins. You can't really get a bigger win.
You can't get a bigger win, can you?
And like, fair play to him. He's, 26? 25, 26?
I think about 26, yeah.
That's like major. And then obviously the 100 grand, he smashed it, to be fair to him.
He had the right mindset, didn't he? He's just convinced
I think
he was going to win.
I think that's a good, like, again, we always talk about like the mindset, and I mean his skill sets. Obviously, he's got a great skill set as well, but he's very confident.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like
knows
like,
he's the best. He says.
And like
best,
I remember again going back to like when I fought like Rungnarai and like when I was like 21, 22 before the hand injury. Like I used to have these conversations.
No one thought you would win that fight.
Nah, that's it.
But I knew because I was close to you and I saw how bulletproof your mindset was and how you were like so confident in your own ability. And that's all that matters really. You and your team, as long as you believe it, it don't matter how many other people said. Like I mean, I didn't think Haggerty was going to win that. No one else, but him and his team believed it. Like you believed it and I knew you were going to beat Rungnarai. So it's like
when you got a mindset like that, young, hungry, like, and that is like the ultimate goal, beating Nongo. Like that would be anyone's dream. So like,
I'll just
you got to take
it, innit?
Yeah, you got to take your hats off to him. Like that's a crazy win. And moving forward, it's obviously opened. I can't believe how things actually like. I think last year, me and him were talking about fighting at 59 kilo, and well, we actually, to be fair, I don't think many people know this, but it actually was basically matched, and he'd accepted it, I'd accepted it, everything was sorted, and then
it was out on MTGP.
MTGP, I think, yeah, and then obviously because he signed to one, he couldn't come out of that contract, but then I knew he was always bigger, and he was always kind of getting bigger, but I'd never expected him and Harrison to fight like that. Now that's a talk, and I'm like. That's mad how that's just come about now. Like that wasn't even the thought process before, but
well, it's so good. Like it's bringing Muay Thai into more people's eyes,
especially in the UK.
If that comes at like Wembley or whatever.
Like, see, like the whole. I wish and I hope that one day Muay Thai could sell out in Wembley, but I think we need to calm it a little bit. It's not going to sell out Wembley, is it? O2 maybe.
There's not enough people to know about it, but I think. Bringing one to the UK and having like a Harrison Haggerty headline, the hype it would get and the media coverage.
Even in an arena or something. In an arena, that would be unreal. And like, then you've got like, I mean, that fight will go off. Let's be fair. They both come out quick. They both heavy-handed, or they both want to hit with venom every shot in it. So that's going to end in a knockout. It's not really going to go to points, is it? To be fair. Yeah. So
but I've sparred Liam hundreds of times, and I've sparred Haggerty probably for over 50 rounds as well. Like both of them, for me, like I feel that either of them could just switch me off at any minute they wanted to.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's like it's very like 1 foot wrong, boom, fucking. So it's just it's so mad how it's all kind of come up, and it's come to that. Like Liam and Haggerty, I never even thought about it, but. In the UK, having a card like, I mean, they could do a massive card here. They've already signed like Nolan, Jacob
signed, didn't he?
Got Iman Barlow.
You've got Chris Shaw's signed.
Yeah. No, I think he's out of it now.
Is he out now?
I think so.
But anyway, then even the people that ain't signed, they'll probably sign people up. Like I'm down. If that's a UK show, I'm down, man. Like, but you got some massive fighters here, and then like. Even in Europe, like there's some big fighters in one championship in Europe. Like we'll go on to even like Lisa.
I reckon. Obviously, I'm gonna say she's one of my best mates, but I think her last two performances over the moon for her. I think she
needed it.
I think she could be the next one champ from the UK. I think she's got it in her thing, and I'm so happy seeing all them hard years of living in Thailand and
not even just that. Like we seen, obviously we're quite close to her. You're really close with like your best mates with her basically. But like she come here after Thailand, like she had her knee injury. Yeah, her confidence was shot.
She's hard as fuck, man.
She is so hard.
She got a ACL, MCL, and her nose broken in round 1 in that fight, and fought on to the end.
Yeah, carried on.
With a ACL gone, MCL, and the broken nose.
She's tough.
Fought till 5, pushed the fight. She actually lost that fight, but she came on strong all the way to the 5th round, man. Like,
but like, when she come back to the UK after that injury, and then she went back to Thailand, started fighting, but then it was like COVID times, and then she was like in and out of Thailand and UK, and we used to have chats with her all the time, and I'm like, what do you want to do in Thailand anymore? Like, I don't know, like you've done a lot in Thailand, like I think like you need to move on, because again, I don't know how old's Lisa.
31,
and I was thinking like, what do you see your future? And then she went back to Thailand, fair play, because she obviously had it in her head. She knew what she wanted, even though like I say to her, you need to get confident, man. You're so good.
So her hands, and I'm glad she's getting forced to punch because her hands have always been fucking quality.
So like buzzing for her, and she got a bonus in her first fight on that one Friday night fights, and just I'm over the moon for her because like she had a hard couple of years, to be fair to her, and
stuck at it, grinding.
showed persevered, and now like I said, like you said, sorry, she's probably one of the front runners for being a next champion and one. I don't care what anyone says. I think she's definitely.
I think she'll get it done.
If she fights like how she did yesterday, a little bit more like she's still getting used to them gloves and stuff, but like the way she's throwing and she don't care.
She took a lot of shots. She took some big elbows. You've seen her face today.
Yeah,
she looked wicked, man.
Yeah,
it's so good to see.
Buzzing friend. Yeah. You're going out like she's with Manasak's gym now. They've got their own gym and that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna obviously I fought in the UK this year, so I think I'm gonna go. Well, I've already booked tickets. I'm taking my Kingsley out to gonna go stay in Chiang Mai and train at Manasak gym. Nice. See Lisa and maybe have a little move about out there. Chiang Mai. I love it out there. It's good, man.
So now we're just going to go. We've been sent a few questions in, so I'm just going to answer them. So I've had one, memories from Thailand, ups and downs, and key takeaways from training out there. So I had so many memories in Thailand. I was going from like 15 to 22, and I was going for like months on end, and coming back, and then going for another few months, and up until I was about 22 until the hand injury. But memories, just hard training, great times. Met some wicked people, like friends for life, just because we're all on the same journey. So like you're all on the same journey trying to get the same goal. You kind of meet people like that. So then you become really good friends with people. I met some great people. And then key takeaways is I think you just got to dedicate yourself to it, and you'll see results, won't you? I think that's the main thing. Like I noticed because I was there 2 times a day training, doing what the Thais told me to do, even though I didn't want to sometimes because it was so hard. Once you do that and you start seeing results, you realise, okay, the hard work will pay off. So that's probably one of the main takeaways is, hard work will pay off if you carry on and stick to it. When are you planning on fighting next? I'll let you answer this one first.
Well, yeah, probably
in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on. I was supposed to be fighting Hitman Fight League in June, but I picked up a few injuries from my fight against Darren. So hopefully in a couple of months, I just want to be fully ready going into it, because I want to put on a big statement. And going into the Darren fight, like my toe and stuff was, it sounds, I'm not even going to bring it up, but it's stupid, but it's actually causing me it's actually sore. So I'm just hoping that kind of heals up a little bit, and then we'll crack on. Motivation to carry on fighting. Yeah, that's a good one, because like I said earlier on in the podcast, at some points I'm like, well, my life's pretty cushy now. Like I'm actually finally earning some good money through Muay Thai, and like I'm in a good place mentally. Like I've got great people around me. Like, and I did question why do I fight? And I think I just want to be the best. I want to be the best, and I also love I love coming back to the gym and like being a role model. Like the kids like buzzing. Like, even though I lost this one, it's like, how did you get on? Like, it's such a good feeling knowing that people actually really, really like they look up to you, and like you're actually an inspiration to people. And I think that's the kind of thing that I love.
See,
as well.
I think for me, obviously, we're a little bit different. You want to be the best in the world. I know I'm never going to be the best in the world, but I just love fighting. I love the way. Do you know what I mean? I love the way it makes me feel, and it also when I'm preparing for a fight, everything else sort of falls into place. I've got focus. I sort my food out. I feel good. Like it just makes my life better. I don't know how I'm going to cope
when you stop.
When I've got to stop fighting, because I'll be sort of lost. Like, what am I going to do? I won't want to give up. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's one thing as well. Like to touch on is the way it makes you feel. Like I feel everyone should try this feeling at one stage in their life.
Who said that?
Adesanya.
Yeah.
But like not even just the fighting. Yeah, I think even the training. Like try and do like, even if you did like a mini fight camp, like how a fighter would do it. The nutrition, get the nutrition right. The fight, like the training, the strength work, all of that stuff. Do it all together and see how good you feel after 4 to 6 weeks.
It's amazing. It's like, the best feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a good feeling.
You're feeling good.
You feel healthy. You just like a well-oiled machine. It's mad. Like you feel great. So that's good little bit of motivation there as well. Sorry, and then
Tim.
I read Samantha's. Advice to give a young junior going to Thailand. So same thing. Like when you go, just listen. You got to do things in Thailand because the Thais still ain't up to scratch with like the scientific stuff. They're getting better.
Got to run 17 miles a day.
You just got to do it. Like it's so weird, but like it's probably not doing that great for your body. But if you really want to get on there, I mean, times have changed a little bit in Thailand now, like with the stadiums and one championship. Like things have changed a little bit, but if you want to get on and do like the stadium fights and you want to go through that circuit, you just have to listen to the Thais and whatever they say, because otherwise they won't put no time into you. So if you don't want to go for the run 10k, 15k in the morning, they're not going to help you out. They're not going to think that you're the next big thing, and they're just not going to help you out. So yeah, I'd say you got to listen to Thais. Also, sometimes you don't actually get taught a lot in Thailand, like because of the language barrier. So I think one of the main things is watch and just take in when you're getting thrown in the clinch, because that will happen. Like you go to Thailand, you'll feel you're on the floor constantly when you're clinching. Figure out like, how did that guy do that to me, and then you'll start doing it. You'll just start doing it naturally.
I think a lot of it's subconscious, just by doing it and getting it done on you. Like, yeah,
that's it.
And
just watching other high level lads day in day out. Like you're gonna get better, but you just got to take it in and soak it all in. But yeah. And then one more thing would be Tim Thomas said, talk about Simon's elbows. I think it's more of a joke from when Simon was fighting George Carter. He threw an elbow from the red corner to the blue corner, just launched himself, and he completely missed. but he kept doing it as well.
Tim's a joker, man. He's good at his fucking
We're going to get him on the podcast soon, actually.
Yeah, that would be wicked.
And overtraining. So, overtraining is definitely a big thing. I'd say when I fought Mario, my comeback fight, I trained for a long time. And I think, one, because of my comeback, so I wanted to feel that kind of feeling again. But I also had fights booked in before that. They all fell through. But I just carried on the fight camp. So I think I was training for like 5 months non-stop. Didn't drink for like 5 months and didn't do anything for 5 months. I was just in the gym training solid, and I felt it in the last couple of weeks before the fight. I was like really drained. And again, I feel like that could have potentially affected my performance. Maybe, like, again, obviously I took a shot, but like it could be a factor in the performance. So yeah, I think you got to train smart. Like I said, when you go to Thailand, sometimes that goes out the window. Like you have to kind of do what they say. But when you're here and you've got a team, you should train smart. If you need a day off, take a day off, because that rest is pretty important as well.
Yeah,
you've definitely come to that kind of realization.
Yeah, definitely. So sleep.
Yeah.
I've missed out on a lot of sleep. I don't. It's hard. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, when I used to train and work and that, but if I've got a fight now in the UK, this is why it's hard for me to take fights all the time, because I need fighting the level of like A class. I need like 2 or 3 weeks off to make weight, to get my rest, to recover, to train properly. You burn out.
Yeah.
You know? So you do need rest. Is just as important, definitely, and you come back feeling better.
Well, we'll wrap it up.
Good, man.
No, sick. Good. But well, we'll probably do this more often. Like me and Simon are always with each other anyway, so
there's a lot to talk about.
So we'll do it again, definitely. And I hope everyone enjoyed it. Boom.
Peace.
Love that.
Adios.
That was good.